Today I'm with Mark. Mark, how old are you?
59.
Mark, it looks like you recently bumped your head. You got bandages up on top of your head. What happened?
I fell out of my wheelchair when sleeping, hitting the bus bench, the bricks under the bus bench, and some concrete.
And,
3 times I fell out.
3 times. How long have you been in that wheelchair?
I have been in the wheelchair since I was released from the hospital after amputating my leg 3 weeks ago, sir.
So you're fairly new to having to go around in a wheelchair.
Yes.
That you lost your right leg?
Yes, sir.
Amputated due to, what was that again?
It was an infection. Started swelling in my ankle, increased swelling all the way up my leg. Within 2 weeks, it was gangrene from my ankle to my knee, and they had to cut off my leg.
How long were you dealing with your infection that you hadn't gone to the hospital?
It was only like 2 weeks. It was really fast.
So in those 2 weeks, why did you not seek medical treatment?
Because of my previous visits to the ER and my existing bills that I have to the hospital were already out of control, so I didn't want to build up any unnecessary bills. And due to my being on painkillers on the street, I thought it was going away. I thought it was getting better when all the time it's getting worse.
Mark, so I simply ask you that question because I run into lots of people that have infections, the finger, the leg, here, there. They tell me they got bit by a spider. They tell me they fell and broke their hand and this and that, and they don't want to go to the hospital because they're scared. So I'm finding a lot of like a common thread, right? People don't want to go. So kind of what I'm gathering is that, so a lot of the folks I interview, as I mentioned earlier, are doing blues, right? They're addicted to blues for years. Fentanyl, counterfeit fentanyl, correct? And they don't want to go to hospital because they'll be away from their pills, right? The doctor's not going to give them these pills, these blues. So they'd rather not go. They'd rather deal with the pain. They'd rather self-medicate, just numb the pain with the blues. But that just progressively gets worse, and you end up without a leg or a finger or this or that. So does that kind of make sense? So do you see that a lot when you're out here in the streets with a lot of people that just avoid going to the doctor?
I have seen that with everybody out here on the street, including me, and I wouldn't have gone to the hospital had not the police been called, and I could not walk at all. So the police were called, and that's the only reason they took me to the hospital. I wouldn't have went on my own. I thought it was getting better, but actually that morning I could not walk at all. If I would have waited another week, I would have died, the doctor told me. It would have hit my heart and gone.
That infection, sepsis, would have got into your blood stream, eventually to your heart, and you would have not made it, right? They would have found you laying down somewhere, and that's happening, and so it's just interesting how people just avoid, just medical treatment, even though it's detrimental to their health, right? Loss of limb or life. So it's really scary. Why do you think blues are so prevalent out here, Mark?
Because of the price. They're very, very cheap for the dealers to purchase, and there are high profit margins to be made all around on these pills. Everybody involved with the sale of them is making lots of money. So that's the reason why, and they like to hide.
When you were how long were you in the hospital for?
I was in there for about 3 weeks.
During that time, did they talk to you about treatment, getting better?
No, because I never mentioned my my illicit drug use to them. I told them that I was on methadone, and that I was which I was, and told them I was a opiate addict, but I didn't discuss anything about any certain types. And they kept me on medication in there, but they did not give me any treatment options. No.
Mark, what does your future look like? What do you want to do going forward?
I want to eventually get a place to live. I mean, everybody wants a place to live. There's no reason why a human being should have to be out here living in the streets like some kind of wild animal. I mean, it's not meant for us to be like this, and that's what I want more than anything, is a place to live in. That's all I want.
Okay, a place to live in, and
Yeah. Well, yeah.
whose responsibility is it to give you a place to live?
I would say it is going to be a lot of responsibility for the people in charge of the housing department out here, to be able to come up with a program that's better than Section 8, or a program that would help people that have criminal records, or people that can't afford rent. I mean, you know, the rent is doubled what it was 2 years ago. And nobody can afford the rent. The homelessness is really increasing out here. It's doubled in the last 2 years, every year.
And should there be any rules, any guidelines to if the state or the government, federal government, was to wave a wand and just start handing out homes for free to people left and right, should there be any standards or guidelines for those free homes? No drug use.
Well, if you're going to have drug users in the homes, you're going to have drugs in the homes. You're going to have people that are going to be claiming not to be drug users and going in the homes, and they're going to have drugs in the homes. It's not going to matter what you do about having the guidelines. People are going to find ways around it. If they don't have a criminal background, then they're going to, they're going to keep on going without that, but they're going to keep on using the drugs. It's like we got people out here right now, no criminal background, using drugs every day. So, I mean, it makes no difference.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And what are your thoughts on personal responsibility, just being accountable for?
Well, I think that they should be, follow along the same guidelines as Section 8, but it should be the cutoff points that qualify people for these programs should be set a little. They shouldn't be as stringent as they are now. I mean, the median income level is set so it's kind of a little too not enough people are qualifying for it, is what I'm saying. So there need to be more people that qualify for it. I'm on disability, and I don't qualify for lots of the programs out here because they say I make too much money, but I don't make enough money to pay the rent.
You're stuck in the limbo?
Yeah, I am.
I know there are programs out here like shelters, CAS, Central Arizona Shelter Services. It's not. What are your thoughts on a shelter?
Well, other states may be different, but this place out here in Cass is out of control. It's the last time I was out there, I saw a guy getting murdered in St. Vincent de Paul lunch line, and that's why I will never go back down there again. I mean, there's too many lines. It's just like being in prison. I wouldn't want to go down there again. I'd rather sleep in the dirt in the cold than have to sleep there. And you can't sleep there. You can't be there during the daytime. They kick you out all day long. You come back down there, you're only in there a few hours, and then you got to go back out on the street. So basically, you're on the street. I don't see any point in it.
What do you think, Mark? What would your life look like? What would you be doing now if there was no substance abuse on your part?
That's a good question. It would probably be a lot better. I would probably have the things accomplished in my life that I should at this point. I should be grandfathered by now, and living in my own house out there, paid for, and have a job and all this and that. But I don't have anything. Wait, this guy. Hey, hey! Put your shit back there. Put it down. Put it down, bro. Put it down. I'm gonna put my shit right there,
What happened? Somebody going through your stuff?
Yeah, I left a cigarette over there and some other things. He would have gone through everything eventually if I hadn't said something. So go ahead.
Is that normal where people just rummage through your items?
I've had everything stolen from me this month. It started with my backpack being stolen while I dozed off for an hour, and now I haven't been asleep all day today. I haven't been asleep for like about 2 weeks now, and I got to sleep, and that's what happens. People walk up on you when you're asleep, go through all your stuff. I've had everything stolen from me. My phone, everything got stolen from me this month. It's all gone. It's just it's a travesty. You can't live out here in the street like this. There's no way. You can't keep anything. You have to replace everything that gets stolen, and you're just spinning your wheels. The homeless people steal from the homeless. They don't steal from, they steal from stores and stuff too, but they steal more stuff from us that we have. I buy all my stuff. I don't steal it. And it makes it really hard on me to make it out here when people do that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Has to be frustrating, right?
Man, it's more than frustrating. Yeah, it's really bad.
What Mark, I'm gonna say thank you very much for talking to me. I appreciate you sharing your story and letting us know what life is like out here. Hopefully your head heals soon. Okay, you bumped your head really hard, it's swollen, bandages everywhere.
Yeah, the doctor wants me to go to the ER about it, and I'm about to that point now because the swelling is not going away like he wanted it to, and I don't want him to have to amputate my head next. You know?
Yeah,
that would be bad.
So you've lost your leg, bumped your head, you've been locked up. You've led a rough life, huh?
Oh yeah, it's been rough the whole way through, just about, except from my early years up to I was about 17, and then after that, everything was like snowballing, cascading, affecting, and now here I am. So yeah, but I had some good years, but they're not. The bad years way outnumber the good ones by far. So,
yeah. What do you attribute that to? Addiction?
I would be lying if I say addiction didn't have anything to do with it, but it's yeah, it's due to drugs. Nothing good comes from drugs. You can't gain anything by using them. They're only bad. Drugs are only bad. There's no good drug out here on the street. Nothing.
And that's a lesson we could all learn from, right? You started when you were 17. You've had a long road of just misery. It sounds like.
Yeah, I don't have friends. I don't have a spouse. I don't have anything. I'm loneliness. Loneliness cuts you pretty hard, and you don't want it. You don't want this kind of life. I mean, I don't know. Some people choose it. I didn't choose it. I was thrown into it, and it's put me in a bad situation. I don't like it at all.
Mark, I'm gonna give you my card with my number on it. You have a friend in me. You can call me if you ever need a ride to a treatment center, to a homeless shelter, if you ever need somebody to talk to. I'm also going to give you a box of Narcan so that you can use it on when somebody out here needs it, or you can let them know that you have it so they can help you in case you need it. I'm also going to give you a bag that was donated by a subscriber. Her name is Kathy. Inside this bag are snacks, toiletries, toothbrush, toothpaste, all the essentials, things you need, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really nice of Kathy.
Oh, actually, I don't have any teeth at all. Not one.
Not one tooth, huh?
Yeah, I had my dentures made before I got out here this time, and I lost the set of dentures in the move from being homeless to here. or from living in a house to here. And I can't chew anything, so I don't need the toothpaste. But
Okay.
yeah, thank you, Kathy, for that. Okay.
So, Mark, thank you very much. Stay safe and be careful, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Sure thing. Thank you.